So when you open up Fusion, you have this three-dimensional drawing board. You have your X, Y, and your Z axis to draw on. Okay, I'm looking at my grid here. It's like graph paper. All right, and if you don't have a grid, you want to come down here to your grids and snaps, and your layout grid should be selected. Okay. Over here in the right-hand corner, I have this navigation tool. I call it like your home button. If you click on this house, it brings you back to this three-quarter view. And then you can also use the cube to navigate around your object. So right now we don't have anything, so let's draw something. I'm also kind of zoomed right in, so I'm scrolling on my mouse, which if you have a mouse, it does make it a lot easier. But you have a zoom tool right here. So I am going to come up to my menu, my drawing tools up here, and I want to go to my sketch menu. So we're going to focus first of all for this week for sure on our sketch menu. Okay, so I hit create sketch, and let me see what that looks like. So when I hit create sketch, it says, okay, what plane do you want to draw that on? So you need to select a plane. That's your first click. You're selecting a plane. Okay. And then I want to select my rectangle or my circle, just one of those drawing tools that come up in this menu right here. All right. And the first time I click, I select the location. And when I drag my mouse, I am making my rectangle bigger. Now, if I let go of my mouse entirely, hands free, and I hit a number, and then I hit tab, and then I hit another number, and then I hit enter, it's now locked in the size of my rectangle. Okay, so I can draw free form, or I can specify the size of my object by typing in the numbers. So let's try that again. Let's do a rectangle right over here. Okay, so if I type in 2, and then I hit tab, I'm not touching my mouse at all, and then 5, and then enter, I now have a 2 by 5 rectangle. Okay, so I'm also noticing that my settings are all set up to be measured in inches, and hopefully you all rocked the measurement test. I was really impressed with grades last week. So you are comfortable with measuring in inches. So, but the default is not set to inches, so we need to change that. So here's how we do that. We're going to come up to your name and click on Preferences. Okay, so there are two places to change your preferences. Unit and value display. We want to make sure that we select the second from the left option under this drop-down menu, English, inches, pounds, mass, PSI. All right. And then over here, default units, we want to make sure that's in inches as well. All right, since I already have that, my apply button isn't highlighted, but you would hit apply as well and hit OK. Okay. Oh, whoops. Okay. So I hit OK. And if you have changed those preferences, you have to close out the program and reopen it so that when you open it up again, you'll have those new preferences. I already have the inches, so I'm going to proceed. All right, so my rectangle is over here. I'm just going to move it over here. Kind of want to look at the top of it. Want to turn it a little bit. Maybe back the other way. Just kind of get used to navigating around. So I still have my hand tool, my pan. It's officially called the pan tool selected. So I move that around. Okay. And under my sketch menu, I have other shapes. So I'm just going to also draw like a circle. Let's do that. So select a circle shape. And here again, I can select, I can just click and drag to create that circle, but I can also just let go and type in a number and then hit enter to lock it in. Okay. You can experiment with these other shapes, and then just keep in mind that once you're done with the tool, hit finish sketch. All right, so we've saved our preferences. We've experimented with the sketch menu. We've experimented with navigating around our sketch. And we've gotten a little familiar with what's going on down here. We have our grid settings, we have our pan tool, we can zoom in and out. All right. Up here, if you come to File, this paper icon, you can save your file. Okay. And let's just give this a name. I'm just going to say 1, 2, 3, so it's at the top. Okay. And yours will automatically say my first drawing. We'll go with that. All right, and then if you come up to this little Rubik's Cube shape, I clicked on that, it's moving slowly. But all my files will appear here. So all my last marking period kids have their own folder using my account. You guys have a fresh start, so you can have your very own account. So if I wanted to find it, I would look here. I can navigate through my different menus by clicking on this thread here. All right, so remote learning 8th period. That's where I put my file. And there it is, 1, 2, 3. Okay. So if I started my sketch today, I would save it, and if I need to come back to it tomorrow, then that's where I would look, under that little Rubik's Cube, and find my file name to reopen it and continue to work on it. All right. So that's the basics of Fusion. If you struggle with it, do not worry. It's a bit challenging at first to figure out. There's a lot of information here to tackle. I know a lot of kids will grab a tool, they'll be sketching, and they forget. I'm trying to simulate this. They forget that they have to hit finish sketch to drop that tool, to not be using that tool anymore. So that's kind of a common problem, so keep that in mind. Okay, so we need to create this account, get familiar with it, and then we're going to move on to drawing sketch 1.